Well, good evening, friends. I just wanted to do a little video and remind everybody to absolutely live every day, every day, every day. Um, do your best to do everything you can in life while you got the opportunity to. I'm not saying that because anybody passed. Well, actually, Don Hall passed away. So Hallmark greeting cards. Um, his wife died a couple of years ago. He passed away, I think, yesterday, 92. But he lived a good life. The Hall family, gosh, uber wealthy. He started going door to door with greeting cards, like hand drawn greeting cards. Um, yeah, that was the origin of Hallmark right here in Kansas City, and he would sell greeting cards door to door as a youth, and he built that company basically from the ground up. So yeah, freedom, capitalism, it works. If you work hard, man, you can make it happen. But I want to talk about somebody else that works really hard, and he, I guess a month ago, went into the hospital with some back pain, like severe back pain. Like he's always running around in his little gator or whatever the hell, at the track, trying to keep things going and make sure everybody has a great time. He's the best host. We are not close friends, but if I called him and said, Mike, hey, I got an issue, I need your help, he'd be like, what can I do? I'll be there, 15 minutes. And I would do the same for him. We've helped each other out. Let's just say that Jeff Streeter doesn't ever get teched out at US 36 Raceway, and Jeff Streeter never gets black flagged at US 36 Raceway. That's my home. He's my friend. I'll do anything for Mike. But yeah, they did some imagery and come to find out there's a cancer tumor in his back. I don't know if it's on his spine or what the fuck's going on, but way out of my wheelhouse. I got no idea, but I'm very concerned. Um, you know, his wife, girlfriend, whatever, gave him one of those gummies, there's reasons. I'm glad that THC is allowed in the state of Missouri. Because for these reasons alone. Now, when my closest, dearest friend was so sick, pancreatic cancer, and dying, and she couldn't stand the pain. Everybody's like, well, smoke a joint, you'll feel better. It's just, nope, I'm not gonna have none of that. Not touching it, no. And she suffered through it. But anyway, yeah, his girlfriend gave him one of them gummies, and actually was able to dial down the pain, using some homeopathic remedies and trying to take care of it. But not a good deal. Going through all this chemo right now, and just beginning the process. And if you know what I'm talking about when you're going through chemo and shit, it's no fun. I worked with a guy. He had lung cancer. I watched him suffer through that for a while, but he couldn't quit working because he had to have the insurance to cover the chemo, to cover everything. The chemo is like $25,000 for a treatment or something. It's insane. It's unbelievable. But he didn't make it either. He passed away. It's just, it's tough. It's hard to watch, and you really, these folks that you have an attachment to, when they come down with a serious illness, it's very disheartening. And then another friend of mine, I used to work with him. I called him last week. I'm like, hey man, I'm in Atchison. What do you got going on? You want to have some lunch? He retired 6 years ago. He's like, I could hear the distress in his voice. He was sitting in Denver, so his wife goes down to Kansas City for what my neighbor says is a very simple procedure. They remove a disc, and then they have this little coil spring thing, and they thread it into your spinal cord. And apparently the spring that this guy was putting it in was too tall and stretched that spinal cord, and they lost the signals coming from her feet. So at that point, boom, paraplegic. fly her to Denver to like the top neurological spinal center in the U.S. One of the top. The second one's over in Chicago. Anyway, within 24 hours, one of her feet, she was able to move it a little bit, and she had some feeling coming back. The other one, I don't know. That's been a couple days ago. My job, as far as I was concerned, was get a hold of my guy over here, my neighbor dude, and say, hey, bud, we're family, you know. And I said, hey, bud, this is what happened. I need the number for a good attorney, and I need to know the background on this guy. And he got me both within like 15 minutes. So good to have a good network. So I was able to pass it on to my buddy, who's, as far as I know, still out in Denver, trying to get his wife back up on her feet. She's 62, maybe, but she was planning on retiring in February or May. I can't remember what he told me, but she's right here at retirement, and goes in for this spinal surgery, and now she can't walk. What do? You're gonna go on. You have all these journeys planned, your bucket list, and all this stuff you want to do when you retire. You're like, oh, I can finally do A, B, or C. And all of a sudden, you have a life-changing event. What do you do? What do you do? So I'm going to sit down and just have a drink. I got to dial this shit back. I got jokers in town, in KC. We've got chains around our cabin. And I don't know what they're using, crowbars, digging bars, or what they are busting in and like tearing the fuck out of everything just to get in and get a little bit of copper. Ain't worth shit. It's not worth shit. And they're busting the fuck out of everything and causing these guys grief. They got to go down there and fix all that shit. And I'm just like, wow. Wow. So we're gonna try a little bit of this. This is my Devil's River, as you know. The coffee, vanilla bean, and caramel from Waco, Texas. I'm gonna say it's from Waco, Texas. Now this is 80 proof. This is a full proof coffee flavored whiskey. Not like some of the stuff over here that's 50% or 50 proof, 25%, basically a liqueur. This is full strength shit, and it's San Antonio, Texas. Okay, I was wrong. I better read it. I thought it was from Waco. I really did, and I've been fucking it up this whole time. Devil's River Distillery from San Antonio. There you go. But it really doesn't get better than this stuff right here. It's a coffee bourbon, and it's fantastic. And today I'm going to try it with a ball of ice and a can of 7-Up here, and we're going to see how it tastes with 7-Up. I got to get something going. I'm getting ready to have the final Veterans Retreat of the season. We also, on Veterans Day weekend, on the 9th of November, Veterans Day lunch. I'm not going to be in town, but the Elks Lodge puts on this big Veterans Day deal. Free lunch provided by the whole community up there, basically. And 200 people usually is what we have show up. And have a wonderful dinner. They post the colors and the national anthem, and it's really wonderful. And we're putting an addition. Don got the approval and got everything done for an addition onto the lodge. I think it's an extra 40 feet. I think he went 40 feet more, so it's going to be 60 by 120 or something. Anyway, he's adding on that. The pads poured and the walls up and all that. So hopefully by this time next week they're framing it in, and we'll have double the size. So we're going to use one side of it. The new side is going to be for storage for like all the dining tables and the chairs and stuff. And he's thinking about moving the game room area over there and just building a game room. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It's just good things. Good things are going to happen. But we got to dial it down, and as I always say, live, do something, go out and do something while you can, because these stories are just, this is two in 2 months, of course, Mike's my age, but Monique is, I don't know, 10 years older than I am. But still, shit, man. Shit happens. And we listen to Dave Ramsey, right? And he's like, hey, take all your money, get 3 jobs, eat beans and rice, and throw all your money into a savings account, build up your savings account, pay off all your debts, and blah, 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 blah. And you're a millionaire, you got $1 million in the bank. What if you don't make it that far? What if you do not make it to where you've got $1 million cash in the bank? I don't have $1 million cash in the bank. Hell no. You know, we're on a fucking budget here, fellas. You know, so we live not beyond our means, but we live as good as we can. We're not going to sacrifice our leisure time and our trips that we take. I will work tooth and nail to make sure that that car is going to make it where we need to make it. You know, just do whatever you can to live. If it just go to the park every weekend or something. But if you're not living, you're losing that opportunity to do so, because there may come a day when you're in the hospital and you're getting that doctor, that oncologist walking into the room, and you're freaking out at that point. You don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be scared to death. Let's see how the coffee bourbon tastes with some 7-Up. I don't know how it's going to go with citrus. We're going to find out. Not very good. I don't know what to tell you. It tastes like bad coffee. So don't mix it with 7-Up. You got to mix it with a caramel, like Pepsi or a Coke. I bought some RC Cola, Royal Crown Cola. Why? Dollar General, bitch. I'm on a budget. Didn't I just tell you that? Fucking, yeah. I ain't rich. But I've got projects. We got that. I got a carburetor in today and bought some parts to get the ignition going on that little Bugatti Type 35. That's going to be a fun car. It's just going to take a little bit of fabrication, and I'll get it knocked out. And I had my Pinto Lorian. It's up for sale. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I could, but it's, you know, cool car. It's a cool car. Don't get me wrong. And it's got the sport gauges. So if you ever see a Pinto and above the stereo in the dash, it's got 3 little gauges in there. Those are the sport gauges. That car is worth some coin. If you're going to buy one of those. Or the little bubble window on the back. Better yet, the bubble window with the sport gauges. And I don't know that they made any bubble window Pintos without the sport gauges in the dash. But, and of course, the air conditioning. You got to have the luxury, right? But I will tell you this, on the Pinto side of things, if you're ever going to do a Ford Pinto, which I know a lot of people laugh about it, stop laughing. It's a fucking badass car. But you don't put a V8 in it. You just got to chop the car up. You're destroying the car to stuff a V8 down into there. For more horsepower, I guess. But you can take that 2.3 Ford and you can do 10 times what that V8 will do. That 2.3 is all you need. All you need. That will give you enough horsepower to get that thing down the road. You smoke the V8s. Of course, in today's day and age, it's harder and harder to do. When guys are running around in fucking Z06 or something, you know, that's hard to do. It's competitive on the street racing side of things. No. The little MG Midget was badass enough. I sold it because it was just dangerous, and it used a shit ton of gas with a little bitty gas tank. I honestly don't know how much of a fuel cell that Bugatti's got into it, but it's got an old school Toyota engine. It's a Hemi head Toyota pushrod engine. My dad used to have one in a Corolla wagon. His was a 1.3. I think this is a 1.9. It's the stroked up version. But that car, I haven't had this engine running, but the one he had, it's got the little gear reduction starter, and you hit the key, and it's like, and then it kicks off and runs, and you can't even hear the car run. It was silent and so smooth. Just a really, really good drivetrain. So I don't think the Bugatti's going to be super fast, but it'll be fun. I have to fabricate the seats. I bought a couple seats, and they are too big. I have a feeling that any seat I buy for that car is going to be too big. So I'm just going to have to cut plywood and build a frame, maybe stuff it with some mohair, if I can even find mohair. Amazon, right? So anyway, we'll see what that does. And I need to, on my Studebaker, I need to get downstairs and do the drive shaft stuff and everything. But it's running great. The car runs great. I don't have my overdrive hooked up, and I have this the brake valve. So you flip a switch and it locks the front. You push the brakes and you flip the switch, and then you let off the brakes and it lets go of the back brakes, but the front brakes are still locked, so you can warm those tires up in the back end without smoking your back brakes. I need to install that. But you still have to wear earplugs when you drive it, because I haven't been underneath. You know, I need to do the downstairs on that thing so that I can get the pipes on and everything. But I don't know, fun. It's living, right? You got to live. If you don't, you're missing out on the opportunity. Whatever brings you joy, focus on that in your free time. I know, like, you only have so many hours in a day, so we may not be able to go on a long journey just on a whim. You have to plan way ahead and save your pennies for that. I know, because I'm there, right? That's what I do. But on a day-to-day basis, just live. Try to bring joy to those around you. Help your neighbors. They may not be there tomorrow. You may not be there tomorrow. I'm just saying. Or if you are, you're not physically capable of doing the things that you love to do, or even bring joy to others, even if you don't love to do that. I don't know. But yeah, it's a big deal, man. It don't take any time at all to all of a sudden have some serious ailment to where you can't maybe not be able to get out of bed, right? So hang in there, work your ass off, and enjoy your leisure time, right? That kind of looks like beer, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't taste like beer, no, but I'm gonna drink it. I will not waste this beverage. We did pour one bottle of wine out several years ago. It was supposed to be a chocolate wine. It tastes like you grabbed an ashtray and tipped it back. I'm not bullshitting. I'm honest to goodness. So we dumped that bottle of wine out. But I'm not going to dump this drink. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I hope you continue to live, okay? Have a nice one. Be good.